senior year has been a crazy year for me, and it has been the year that I feel like I have developed the most. I feel like senior year, kind of like, I felt like a super senior all year. They literally had me like damn near teaching 7th grade as I was still trying to graduate the same school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot. I felt like there was a lot of like major like intuitions that I had, major revelations that came through. Like, I just kind of like had epiphanies. Things were happening. Life was moving. Things was going very fast. But one thing I want to say for me is that the way that I experience my life is very emotional. And if you're here and if you're actually watching, it's probably because you can relate in one way or another. So like, I'm just gonna assume you think the way I do. And the thing is, like, every single thing is important to me. Every single thing is significant to me. Every single thing matters to me. And when it comes to such a transition as graduating from high school and moving on to your own era of life, for me, I have been experiencing this major like anxiety and sadness around grieving the version of myself that I am letting die as I transform into my new version of myself. And let's really get into that. When you graduate, you're getting put into a position in which like life starts to shift differently. Your parents are not really going to help you with a lot of the things that you think they will. And let me give you a warning from now, a very clear warning. I have seen people at my school literally not be able to go because their parents didn't sign what they were supposed to sign. Their parents didn't do what they were supposed to do. Y'all gotta be on top of that for them. And that's just like the reality. We're at a point where, you know, we finally completed our mission. We finally completed this race to get to graduation day and everything. But now we have to choose a new course. Now we have to choose a new path. Whatever that path may be, I've seen it play out in many millions of different ways for many millions of people. But the only way to discover your true path is to be in tune with yourself. And that has been what has really helped me. And I can tell you that a lot of people that kind of like chose not to do the self-reflection work ended up not being satisfied with their post-secondary choices in life. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people don't make it that big of a deal, but it kind of is. Graduating high school, you're at the verge of an opportunity to get to know yourself more. And you need to do that in whatever best environment is for you. For me, it meant literally getting out of my whole entire like state and moving somewhere else on my own to really gain that sense of independence. It could look completely differently for you, but this is a really, really good time for reflection. And I have been on the second wave of my spiritual awakening. These past full moons and new moons have been incredibly powerful. I know we had them 2 full moons in Capricorn in July. Those I feel like brought a lot of things to the surface. And one thing that I experienced a lot this senior summer is recognizing people's true colors. You're not gonna stay friends with them motherfuckers from high school. You're not gonna stay friends with most of them, and that's okay. Like, everyone has their time in your life. I think that's one thing that I have realized more, is that everything has its time, everything has its place. And I think navigating through high school, I was very attached to consistency, to my patterns, to comfortability, to my routine. And I've never felt more unstable in my life ever now, but I've also never felt happier. One thing that I also want to emphasize is that with this power, with this independence comes the consequences, literally. You have to constantly be thinking about how you can continue to do better for yourself, because no one else is going to do better for you. You know what I mean? And yeah, let me actually get into the next point, okay? Damn, I done already forgot what the first point was, child. I was supposed to write it down. I guess we're not writing it down because I'm on a roll and I just want to let it come out naturally. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we're not gonna be super organized with the segments of what I'm talking about. Let's just let it flow, I think. One of the other things I'm learning is about just like in general attachment to desires. One thing that's really good to do, especially like right after you graduate, I feel like, is figuring out what you actually desire out of life. Like, what do you actually desire? And figuring out if you're comfortable with those desires. Are they coming from a materialistic place? Are they coming from what you think is a societal norm, or are they coming from your genuine heart? And if they feel unattainable, that's one of them things where it's like, have faith in yourself and have faith in your desires. And that's the thing, life is gonna feel stressful, life is gonna feel hard when you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how you're going to get there. But one thing that I feel like has kept me strong is having a faith in something, and having a faith that, you know, if I have a desire, if I have a goal, I'm gonna achieve that by any means necessary, and I'm gonna make sure that happens. Use your manifestation if you need to use them. Do the new moon rituals. That's what I did. Like, I did everything I had to do. I did my journaling prompts. I said my affirmations. Like, I was trying to make sure that I had a solid foundation with myself, and that I knew exactly what type of life I wanted, what type of goals I had, what type of person I wanted to be. Because now that high school is over, high school is not real. High school feels like dystopian. High school, especially these days, I don't know what the fuck is in the air, but high school just feels like literally not real sometimes, and it just makes me kind of sad. But once you graduate, it gets very real very fast. So I feel like one of the realizations that has been key for me is just like, yeah, like, you know, it's a time where we have the potential to do what we want with our life and create kind of like a whole new reality if we so choose, and we have the ability to. We literally do. So whether you want to use your manifestation, whether you want to do your magic, whatever it is that you want to do to, you know, your little creating a new routine, morning routine, evening routine, whatever it may be, I feel like tuning into yourself more tuning into myself more, let me say it like that, tuning into myself more has really helped me like figure out what I want to do, because there's going to be decisions you have to make about who you want to keep around, what major you want to have, what is it going to take for you to know what major you want to have. Looking at the classes, literally going online, reading, if I have this major, what classes do I have to take? Do those classes look interesting? Does this look like something I want to do? Do I feel it in my bones? Am I just being discouraged, or am I actually passionate about it? And if you're actually passionate about it, go for it. If you're feeling discouraged, and if you're feeling like maybe that's not quite what I want to do, know that it's okay, and, you know, navigate from there. But like, I think that a lot of us feel like it's just so much work, like trying to, you know, get on top of our life. But the truth is, like, it's always going to be a lot of work, you know what I mean? Like, we have so much more time than we realize. We got 24 hours in a day, and that shit feels like 2 seconds, especially when you're, you know, working and all types of other stuff. But if you can dedicate an hour to being on your phone, if you can dedicate an hour to going out with your friends or whatever else, you can find another hour to dedicate to yourself, you know what I mean? And I feel like there's been this major energy around, am I being is this self-love or is this selfish? Is this self-love or is this selfish? And that's one thing. Okay, so let's get into it. Another thing that has been a major like area of change in my life is my relationship with like my family. And let me get into that, y'all, because there's a difference between self-care, self-love, and selfishness. Okay, putting yourself first is okay. Like, literally, why are we acting like it's so wrong of you to put yourself first? Please. You can't be giving to anybody from an empty cup, period. You can't be giving to anybody from an empty cup, period. So this summer has literally taught me how to fill up my own cup. Learn how to fill up your own cup. Learn how to fill up your own cup. Ask yourself, what makes my cup full? And when I talk about my cup, when I'm saying my cup, think about cups like from like tarot, like what the cups represent, like emotionally, like your heart, the things that make you feel soft and romantic and in love, and the things that make you feel abundant. Think about money, abundance, water, like what makes you feel like your cup is full, like a nice thing. Literally think about if like the energetic version of a nice cold glass of ice water inside of like a metal cup with a little Chick-fil-A ice at 3 a.m. What makes you feel as good as quenching that water? You know what I mean? And getting to the root of that. I feel like this summer, High school was social enough. High school was social enough. If you were social in high school was social enough. Okay, so take some time to literally just be in your cocoon for a bit. And on the contrary, if you're not like me and you also just happen to stumble across this video and you were in your cocoon, maybe it's time for you to branch out. But this is literally such a beautiful transformation period, and I feel like the energy of graduation is so potent and so powerful. Go into it with an intention. What is your intention? What are you trying to leave behind? And for me, I spent so much of my summer working really hard on myself, feeling so excited, finally deciding what college I wanted to go to. And these were things like at the beginning of junior year, I couldn't even visualize what I would look like graduating high school. I couldn't visualize where I would be going or what the process would look like, but I did focus my energy on trying to cultivate more love and authenticity in my life, doing the best that I can for me, because that's the best that I can do, literally. So because that was my intention, I'm graduating from this era of my life to step into a better version of myself, a higher version of myself, a version of myself that has everything that I could have ever possibly wanted and dreamed of. I set that intention and I saw everything unfold in front of me. I didn't have to work too hard. All I had to do was submit my college application, visit the school that I wanted to go to, and it was like my intuition kind of chose for me. I was kind of like, oh, I saw one school and I was like, okay, this is cool. I saw another school, I was like, okay, this is cool. I saw the school that I chose, Clark Atlanta University, and I felt it in my spirit. I was like, okay, yeah, that's a yes. Hey my love, it's your girl reporting live from the studio, editing right now, and I just wanted to clarify a little thing really quickly. When I chose Clark Atlanta, I chose it because I felt it in my spirit, like I said, and what that felt like was like when I first heard, Clark Atlanta University, I already knew that I was just going to submit my application just because I was like, you know what, I'm going to apply there. I actively wanted to. When I wrote that essay, I got a little anxiety. I was a little like, I'm trying to put my work into this for real. I'm trying to put my best foot forward, and I would actually care if they rejected me. That was one of the major signs, was like, I was like, okay, I had a very nonchalant attitude about a lot of my schools, but Clark Atlanta, I did care. What I will say is I wasn't 100% committed to this school. I didn't think this was going to be my dream school at all junior year. I didn't consider Clark Atlanta as the top 5 at all. But I knew I wanted to go to a HBCU, and I knew Clark Atlanta was a HBCU. I just didn't know nothing about it. So when I finally came to do my visit, after I got accepted, after I already trusted my intuition by simply applying from the first get-go, that's when I got in. And that's when I got in, I felt immediate relief. That relief after knowing I got in, that relief feeling like, okay, I just feel confident in this decision, was my intuition as well. Then when I came on campus and I got the chance to actually visit and actually see what it was about, knowing that my intuition led me here, the application led me here, that fucking submission, that acceptance was a blessing. Everything just felt kind of right in my spirit. And so when I finally came to visit, I literally could I was walking right on the promenade, right out on the promenade, and I could see myself walking everywhere. And I was like, you know what, this feels in my spirit. Not only have I been here before, but I'm excited to see the journey that is in front of me, because I can see myself here. And those are really the 3 main signs for me. It's a lot of ways that you can learn to trust your intuition. Crystals, always. I'm a crystal girl. Y'all know I'm a crystal girl. The crystals help, for sure. But yeah, I just want to point that out so that, if you're going through the process, you kind of know what it actually felt like, so that you can relate. You know what I mean? Yeah. So whatever your process may look like, get familiar with, if you're going to school, get familiar with the school, get familiar with if it's, how you can make a space where it's going to make you happy. Getting to know some of the people that are going to be there, some of the people that might have a club or something that you might be interested in. And girl, get their Instagram. Everybody got Instagram nowadays. Everybody got Instagram. Or, show up to something, pop up to something. I feel like this is a good time of action. Taking action on what you feel like you want to do in order to invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to say no to people and things that no longer serve you and are constantly bringing negativity into your life. And if that happens to be your family, that happens to be your family. I feel like this is a time where we have to recognize that we are individual beings. And we need to show up into the world the way that we know we are destined to show up into the world. So do all the reflection you need to do to figure out what it is that you are passionate about, what you want to bring to the world, what kind of person you want to be. And it's like a time of like, okay, realizing, okay, I'm my own person. This is my own world that I'm finally ready to step into. Let's get serious about it. What do I want to do? How do I want to show up? Who do I want to be? What do I want to bring to the table? If you just want to be a person that brings more love, just bring more love to the world. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? If you are just passionate about art and nature and beautiful things, like, be passionate. I feel like let your life be romantic. Make a solid routine for yourself. I don't know if people talk about this, but this is another major point. Developing solid routines for yourself. This is a great time to get to know yourself in that sense as well. If you are not a morning person, figure out when you're going to be productive, when you're going to, set time aside to keep your life balanced. Learning how to do the whole balancing life thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these things kind of come up and like you don't expect them for real. Also, I feel like there is this innate sense of loneliness that comes up for everybody, this like anxiety around being alone. And let me tell y'all something. As I continue to grow and as I continue to mature, I realize that I'll never fully be alone, literally because I feel more comfortable, and I feel most myself in my body. And I feel like I'm never alone because I'm so comfortable with my own presence and with my own self that I feel like even if I was literally alone, like, I don't feel lonely, and that's only to say, everyone feels lonely after a certain period of time, but I feel like having faith that it's not even just you in this world. Like, you have your Ori, you have your spiritual team, you have your divine team of beings, you have your God, whoever it is that you believe in, Allah, you know what I'm saying, Olodumare, everybody that y'all believe in, like, y'all, they there with you too, boo. Sometimes you gotta come into your cave and kind of like recognize your own shadows and be in your own darkness before you could step out again. And one piece of advice that I would offer anyone who's like freshly graduating is literally like celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself because you made it that far. Everyone always tells you to celebrate yourself, but really actually do. But know that like there's so much more to celebrate. Don't think that's your last celebration. Not at all. So yeah, yesterday, I felt like I had a really fun, amazing summer. This was probably like one of the best summers, like literally ever. I feel like I had to make a lot of strong decisions. I had to do a lot of putting myself first. I had to do a lot of planning, a lot of organizing, a lot of everything. And as soon as I got to a place where I was finally comfortable, where I finally felt like I was like ready to be back in my routine again, ready to be back in, balance with my life and feeling like, okay, I got my stability and I'm good, I gotta pack up and leave. And that's really giving me a lot of anxiety. I do believe everything happens for a reason. I do believe that I will be 100% okay. However, with that still being said, like, there has been lots of anxiety just around literally packing up and moving away. And I had a really bad anxiety attack yesterday, and from what I have learned from that experience, I just want to leave you with this. You are already doing so much. You're already doing enough, okay? You have made it this far. You made a choice with your life. You stuck to it. You know that this is what it is that you're going to do. See it through in whatever way that means for you. Even if just getting in the door was enough, you decide to change your major, okay, that's fine. See the course through if that's what you want to do, but you have room for movement. You have room to expand and to grow. Don't be afraid of growing into your new shell. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel small and naked in this new big environment, but don't be afraid of growing into it and knowing that you're gonna become comfortable. Also, with that being said, like, you're not really going Like, it might not be like goodbye forever. This is just a new beginning. This is a new beginning to develop a new perspective. You're not the only one kind of going through this like grieving of the old self and like feeling like, oh, my childhood, oh, my poor childhood is just gone. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm feeling that too. Just know that this is only the backstory. The backstory has been completed, okay? The villain era is approaching. You see what I'm saying? Like, we are approaching a very new era, and it's fun, it's spontaneous, it's innocent, it's funky, and just like fun and exciting and thrilling. And I feel it too. I know y'all feel it too. Let's all just move into this with a clear mind and a clear energy. And cheers to class of 2024. Sorry, I keep tripping over my words today. I'm not really sure why. It's just happening. But yes, cheers to class of 2024. We definitely did it, y'all. I could not even like imagine myself here today, like a few years ago. So it's really like a blessing. It's really crazy to get to this point where you never thought you could even like dream of as a younger age. And let's just do this shit. We in this world to do what we got to do. We incarnated at this particular time for our own particular reason. So let's bring more love into this world. Bring more happiness. Bring more light. Bring more abundance into this world because it needs us. And let's just really get this shit started. You know, I'm just excited to see how much more I can fill my cups up. You know, my cup is already full. I want to see if it can overflow. That's the goal. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that, you know, you found some type of encouragement or relatability within this, because I see you, I feel you, I'm going through the same exact thing, Bookie. It's not really the easiest thing, but it's kind of like, it's time to have faith in ourselves. Let's see what we can really do for us, right? Let's see if we can really step up and do what we need to do for us. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you. I hope that your move-in process goes amazingly. Y'all are gonna see my move-in process, but you know, I hope that you're doing great too. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll keep you posted on how I'm feeling the first few weeks, the truth about the college experience. We'll get into that. We might even make this a series, okay? I love you. Oh, hold on, let me grab you. I love you so much. Stay fresh, stay sweet, stay beautiful, and yeah. Bye.